From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story, Fairbanks could be in for a rare winter treat in mid-May.
Weather anchor Mike Schultz joins us at the top of the newscast with not the greatest news.
I would not call it a treat by any means. We were talking about this storm last night. You saw it in the satellite picture. We'll show you that later on. And we're talking about, again, we have ourselves a weather advisory. In fact, the weather advisory is calling for from noon Friday to noon Saturday, colder with 2 inches of snow above the 1,500-foot level, gusty winds to 20 miles per hour, more snow tomorrow night with another 2 inches possible. That's again above the 1,500-foot level, and the snow should be ending Saturday afternoon. I have to emphasize, the heaviest snow is going to be the higher elevations. We might see some snow sticking tomorrow night on the ground, but it should be gone in time for the Heart Walk Saturday and other outdoor activities. So it isn't as bad as it could be, but it's still very unusual for this time of year by all means.
Don't like it at all.
Yeah, and as far as those ice jams we were talking about last night, well, things are not too bad. You guys have more, right?
Yep. Thanks, Mike.
That's right, Mike. According to the National Weather Service, an ice jam on the Tanana River has caused concern for flooding. The area south of the Boondocks has overflowed into some parts of the Richardson Highway as well as residential areas. Now, no homes have been reported flooded, but residents have been warned to monitor the river due to the ice jams. A travel advisory has been issued as of yesterday for areas of the old Richardson Highway.
The Fairbanks North Star Borough School District has received a safety report regarding operating conditions of the school bus service they use to transport students. Earlier this school year, several employees of First Student approached the school district with concerns regarding safety and maintenance issues with the buses and work conditions within the company. Superintendent Pete Lewis ordered a safety review and tapped former Alaska Trooper Bob Koslick to conduct a review. Koslick's findings show First Student inefficient in retaining qualified mechanics and issues with insulation on school buses. The report did show a significant effort by First Student to address all safety and maintenance issues, says Superintendent Pete Lewis.
From that report, we have tried to work with the company and with the Teamsters to look at how we can train better and make sure that all of the necessary tools and maintenance items are there to be able to address shop needs and so on, to make sure that buses are safe for all kids and all staff.
U.S. Senator Mark Begich today co-sponsored legislation to strengthen prosecution of sexual assault crimes in the military. Specifically, the bill takes away the authority of commanders to overturn or lessen court-martial verdicts in sexual assault cases, requires justification for changes in court-martial sentences by a commander, and removes the military chain of command from determining whether sexual assault cases are prosecuted. Citing an Alaska case, Begich said the military judicial system is broken and needs to be fixed.
The sentence of Nicholas Howard, a Marine recruiter who raped an Alaskan woman last year, found guilty of rape. He received a mere dishonorable discharge. It's totally outrageous when you think of this. Sexual assaults is a serious crime. Even today, we had the Army caucus meet this morning. The Chief of Staff of the Army called it a cancer in the military.
IRS employees could be charged with a crime for discriminating among political groups under a bill co-sponsored by Representative Don Young. The bill, H.R. 1950, was introduced Monday by Representative Michael Turner. A news release from Young's office stated it would allow fines up to $5,000 or imprisonment of up to 5 years for IRS employees found guilty of targeting political groups. Young said he co-sponsored the bill after the IRS acknowledged last week that some employees had inappropriately targeted conservative political groups for higher scrutiny when they applied for nonprofit status.
It could be an indicator of things to come. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game has issued an emergency order restricting sport fishing for Kenai River king salmon. Last year, salmon runs in the state were poor. This year, for the Kenai River, biologists are predicting the lowest king salmon run in 28 years. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game is issuing catch and release restrictions on Kenai River king salmon sport fishing due to estimates that rank this year's preseason run as the lowest measured over the past 28 years.
And this year we're also going to offer the awards ceremony. They've never done it before in the past. Because it's so late, people want to go home and go to bed. We'll be doing an awards ceremony, and then at 12 o'clock we're going to do the costume contest awards. And so we hope people will stay around at least till midnight, if not 1 o'clock.
What I said about the race being inclusive for anybody, it matches our philosophy of anybody can join in. You can be in a wheelchair, you could walk, you could run, and that it reflects our mission so well.
All right, well, when we come back, we look at the UAF CTC and their culinary program.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Also, the hospice sale is coming up and they need flowers. Those stories are next. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Fbx Evening News. A 29-year-old Anchorage man who sped past Canadian border guards on the Alaska Highway last year and then led the Royal Canadian Mounted Police on a long car chase is back in U.S. custody after spending more than 7 months in a Yukon jail. Shortly after completing jail time in Canada, Jason Echeverry was arrested at the Alcan border Tuesday afternoon by Alaska State Troopers and transported to the Fairbanks Correctional Center on separate $50,000 bond and has a no bail warrant. On probation from a 2010 felony theft case, Echeverry had court orders not to leave Alaska when on October 2nd, 2012, after being turned back by Canadian authorities and waiting to be handed over to the troopers, he overpowered U.S. officials at the Alaska Highway border crossing, retrieved his car keys, and evaded Canadian Royal Mounted Police for 120 miles in the Yukon before he was apprehended. Now back in the U.S. custody, Echeverry was arraigned Wednesday in Fairbanks District Court on charges of felony, escape, assault, and violating conditions of his probation. His next court appearance is set for Tuesday.
Not guilty pleas for a 30-year-old North Pole man accused of assaulting his girlfriend and 2-year-old daughter on May the 2nd. Kevin Patrick Bailey is charged with third-degree felony assault for allegedly punching the woman and second-degree felony assault for throwing a beer bottle that hit his 2-year-old daughter in the head. According to a criminal complaint, Bailey threw an empty bottle across the living room where it hit their daughter in the head during the argument. Now, court records say Bailey also refused to take their daughter to the hospital, hid the woman's cell phone and car keys in a cabinet that was too high for her to reach, and began to punch the woman for about half an hour. She called troopers the next morning from work. Bailey told troopers he threw a bottle the night before but did not know if it hit their daughter.
The Alaska Division of Agriculture, the Alaska Division of Public Assistance, and the Alaska Division of Public Health will be using grant money to enable individuals to double the purchasing value of their Quest benefits. Quest benefits are more commonly known as food stamps. Customers will be able to use these benefits through this summer until the funds are exhausted. A customer using a Quest card through this program will receive twice the amount of fresh and local produce than they normally would. The initiative is an effort to make healthy and local foods more accessible to lower-income families. Over 2,500 Fairbanks area residents are on food stamps.
The annual hospice plant sale is coming up, and they are looking for donations of plants. Plants and plant starts for the Hospice of the Tanana Valley's annual fundraiser plant sale are still needed. The fundraiser is scheduled from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. May 25th at its greenhouse at 20th Avenue and Turner Street. Hospice of the Tanana Valley relies heavily on donations. All proceeds from the sale are donated to Hospice to maintain its policy of free client services, and all sales workers are volunteers. Contact Beth Vonham at 479-8974 for questions about the sale, or call 474-0311 for hospice information.
Students at the University of Alaska Fairbanks Community Technical College have many programs to choose from. Now, one program ran out of Hutchison High School is the Culinary Arts program. While enrolled, the students learn about the culinary industry as well as different specialty areas within it. The students also take part in a full-service luncheon within the student bistro. The culinary program is seeking industry accreditation with the American Culinary Federation Education Foundation.
I love the program so far, and I'm really glad that I'm here. I feel like I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity anywhere else within the community, because not most schools are as involved with the community as I've seen our school is. I actually want to be a pastry chef, more on the pastry side, so that's kind of what I'm aiming for.
So the question is, how is this weather going to affect Joe in sports?
Well, not so much, because tonight he's showing highlights from last night's game, so he's fine there. And there was a football score in baseball. That's interesting. And softball was a night of congratulating. I don't know what that means, but, you know, Joe does, and he's coming up after the break with a look at sports.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in a sports for you this evening. A lot of sports to talk about, so let's get started. If you like offense and baseball, then right field was the place to be. The North Pole Patriots, who came in undefeated in conference play, hosted the Lathrop Malamutes, and it was all about slugging. Both teams combined for 39 hits, with the 22-17 edge going to Lathrop. With 5 players with at least 3 hits, Lathrop had an early 9-1 lead, but North Pole roared back with 7 runs in a wild second inning. It was 10-8 Lathrop, and North Pole got out of the third to stop the run, but Lathrop had some timely defense and scored again and again. It was 12-8 in the bottom of the third, and Lathrop ends North Pole's winning streak, going on to a 23-14 win. In softball last night, 2 teams won, but a couple of players at the times of their lives. First, the Allison Ravens and pitcher Michaela Flowers, who had a big game to complement a big week. Flowers graduated Tuesday, then got married on Wednesday, then pitched a no-hitter in Game 1 with 4 strikeouts and 3 runs. Wow. Kaylee Ladd went 2 for 2, including a 2-1 triple, and the Ravens sweep Monroe 15-0 in Game 1 and 11-3 in Game 2. Allison is 4-0 in the Aurora and 6-2 overall. And next door were the Lathrop Malamutes, where Casey Duffield was pitching on her 17th birthday. Casey was motivated, to say the least, with 6 strikeouts on her way to a 1-hitter. Selena Maxwell provided the run support, going 3 for 3, continuing her 10-game hitting streak. The Malamutes are now 10-0 after their 15-0 victory over North Pole. In high school soccer last night over on Newby Field, the Lathrop boys team was able to get a win. This game against the Allison Ravens gave them some confidence going into this weekend's MAC tournament. Constantine Baltiz recorded a hat trick. Connor Matheny scored twice with a goal in the second half, and Braden Hoopo also got 2 goals, and Lathrop cruises 12-0. The Malamutes are 3-2 in conference play and 5-4 overall. Both teams will meet again in the first round of the MAC tournament. In girls soccer, the Malamutes got their first win of the regular season with a 6-0 victory over Allison. Song Ebbison and Michaela Tripleton scored 2 goals apiece to lead Lathrop. Both of those teams will meet again in the first round of the MAC tournament tomorrow at 5:30 at Newby Field. The winner gets the #1 overall seed, the Hutchinson Hawks, on Saturday. And the 2-time Female Athlete of the Year for UAF, junior swimmer Binti Heller, going off the momentum from her NCAA championship, is competing for a spot on the German national team. Heller, a Hamburg native, is training this summer in the hopes of making the team, which requires a top 10 finish in any event. The North German Championships start May 31st, and the German Championships in Berlin are in June. Coach Scott Limley is helping with Heller's training, as he did with teammate Margot Adams in her attempt to make the U.S. Olympic trials last summer. This weekend, they are in Federal Way, Washington for the Sockeye Spring Open, where Heller will swim the 50, 100, 200 free, and the 100 back, the event she won the NCAA title in. Amazingly, she won that event, and she never trained for it. Winning that title gives her the confidence to at least try.
In the 35 years I've been coaching, I think I can pretty much predict what people can do. It was a complete surprise that not that she wasn't successful, but that she was that fast in it. It was a thrill to watch.
I always wanted to do it, but I never thought it could. And the back sort of just gave me that little push in the back to be like, okay, I'm just going to try it now.
And the Next released their hockey schedule this week for the 2013-2014 season. The schedule is a competitive one, to say the least. First game of the year against the national runner-up Kopiniak in the Kendall Hockey Classic. The Nanics will look to defend their Bryce Alaska Gold Rush title against Denver, UAA, and Western Michigan. On October 25th, a blast from the past, the Nanics played Mercyhurst in a non-conference series in the Patty Ice Arena due to scheduling conflicts with the Big Dipper and Carlson Center. The first WCHA home games will be against Northern Michigan. 2014 opens with a date with Minnesota State, an NCAA tournament team. There will also be 4 conference games between the Nanics and Seawolves. For a link to the full schedule, just visit webcenter11.com. And a big weekend of sports in the interior coming up. While state track, baseball, soccer, and softball is going on, there will be roller derby. That's right, the Fairbanks Roller Girls will be in the United We Roll Alaska State Tournament, the first of its kind. Teams from around the state and our roller girls will be rolling in this state tournament. The action starts on Friday at 7 in the Carlson Center and continues on Saturday. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. And stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Your hair looks nice. I like that. Look at that. You hear that high pitch?
It's a high-pitched squeaking sound.
Squirrel!
You couldn't hear a bomb go off in a nitroglycerin sack.
Shh. Shh, she's back. Shh.
I thought you were actually going to wear it.
No, I can't wear it.
You said I'm going to wear it. Tell me.
No, I'm going to show it.
You said wear it. Mike, you're on the right slide, right?
Yes, I do not have a photograph for tonight.
No photograph.
No. Welcome back to Fairbanks Evening News, everyone. Mike Schultz with you once again for a look at weather. Before we get going, just a reminder, the Heart Walk gets underway Saturday. Be there at 9 o'clock for all the festivities. Then at 10 o'clock is the race, and they'll end with a lunch and awards after that. So be a part of it and help raise some money for the Heart Association. Here's our radar for tonight. As you can see, we're looking again at, as we zoom in, we are having a little bit of activity starting to develop just to the west of the Fairbanks area. It's just barely showing up there, but it is coming in. If you look out your window, you'll see that we are looking at clouds thickening up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some rain and snow shower activity in the next couple hours or so. What's going on as far as our temperatures go? Well, you can see our normal high, or actually our record high, was 82 degrees in 1993. How about that? 22 in 1937. Out at the airport, 52 degrees for the high, 50 right now. And the sunrise and sunset works out to 18 hours and 51 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Here's our satellite picture. This is pretty important because this shows you the area of low pressure sitting right over the Seward Peninsula, slowly working its way across the state, bands of moisture and much colder air coming in behind that. And it's starting to show up on the rest of the map here. 19 degrees currently at Nome, and temperature is really falling like a rock there. Rain around Kodiak Island, cloudy skies over southeast Alaska, clouds up in the North Slope. A nice day in Fort Yukon though, 52 degrees there. And along the Aleutian chain, cloudy skies also. Lower 48 weather tonight. We're talking about warm temperatures continuing. 83 degrees in Denver. More thunderstorms around Texas. Hopefully not bringing the tornado like they had yesterday just southwest of Dallas-Fort Worth that kills 6 folks. Warm temperatures again around the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. On the satellite and radar, you can see that storm system that created those tornadoes moving off to the northeast. A lot of energy moving across the Pacific Northwest, so rain moving as far south as San Francisco. And the overall jet stream for this weekend showing that a hot air will be really widespread across much of the southern half of the country. In contrast, cooler and wetter air across the Pacific Northwest and around the Great Lakes. Okay, back to Alaska for tomorrow. In the northern sections, mostly cloudy for Barrow, cloudy at Nome. Rain and snow expected at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll have rain and snow and then turning to snow in the Fairbanks area. Heavy snow expected in the Denali Park and the Healy areas. In fact, you could get as much as 4 to 8 inches by tomorrow night. And winter will not leave. And over southeast Alaska, we're looking at rainy skies at Juneau, mostly cloudy skies for Ketchikan. While out to the southwest, it looks like snow showers at Cold Bay. Bethel will be partly cloudy and cloudy skies at Kodiak Island. And over the south central regions, rainy and snowy at Anchorage and Homer, with snow expected in Valdez. Okay, once again, time for our kids' weather. This will be our last kids' weather for this session until the fall. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring it. Joy Elementary School has been our guest this week, and we're going to hear from the teacher with a unique weather fact.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Millington, and this is my 4th grade class here at Joy Elementary School, and we have a weather fact to share with you. Class, did you know that the warmest temperature ever recorded in the lower 48 was at Death Valley, California? I did not know. Awesome! Cool. Listen to this. The thermometer climbed to 138 degrees. It was hot enough to fry eggs on the sidewalk.
That'd be fun. I would do that.
Wow, that is something. Hey, as I said before, a big thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for supporting our weekly kids weather program again. All right, here's what's going on at the Tanana Valley Clinic, and they are starting to rise. The grass, trees, and weeds and mold all starting to show a little bit of increase. Of course, this weather we're getting in now may put an end to that quickly. 33 degrees for the overnight low, cloudy with rain and snow showers developing. Tomorrow's forecast, 41 for the high, but rain and snow will be turning to snow with light amounts here in the Fairbanks area. Higher in the higher elevations, like I said before. Our extended forecast, should get this out of here by Saturday, late Saturday, then Sunday, and right on through Wednesday, looking at temperatures rising. And you see the 60-degree mark at the end of the 5-day period there? That's what we're looking at. Long-range outlook is calling for even warmer temperatures by next weekend, even close to possibly 70 degrees by next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
We're the only place that we can get frostbite and a suntan in the same week.
Exactly.
All right. KTVF and Bailey's Furniture are teaming up for a Spring Dream giveaway where you can win a furniture package from Bailey's worth $2,500.
Tune into the Fairbanks Evening News and News Center Final each night for the first half of the mystery word.
Then visit Bailey's Furniture for the second half and complete your entry for your chance to win.
We're going to announce that lucky winner during the Fairbanks Evening News on Friday, May 24th, and that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
Remember, KTVF will be conducting its Broadcast Academy for ages 12 to 17-year-olds to learn about broadcast television and commercial production.
That's right.
And before we go, we have a special message to two young ladies who are part of the KTVF family.
That's right. Justice Soulé and Taylor Merzina, our director and our production assistant, are both graduating tonight from Hutchinson High School.
We wanted to offer them our congratulations, and so did Superintendent Pete Lewis.
Way to go, Justice and Taylor. And from all of us here, we hope you have a good night, and we will see you back here at 11 o'clock, hopefully.
Hey, Justice and Taylor, have a great graduation tonight. We're so excited for you to be able to work at Channel 11. Congratulations on all your work and graduating from high school. Thank you.